the Nintendo 3DS. Boy oh boy, it's very easy to basically underestimate this baby, because one, the specs is pretty much outdated by the PlayStation Vita and various Android devices, and of course Nintendo's first-party titles are going to be a throw-off for some people. But it just doesn't mean it's a bad console. However, this sucker managed to pretty much outsell the PlayStation Vita, and however, it has its own reasons why. But, hey, aside from Nintendo's silly first-party casual titles, there are some titles that could be best suited for you. And as a matter of fact, I got my top 5 picks for the Nintendo 3DS. Alright, so here you go, my top 5 Nintendo 3DS games. Number 5, 2048. Or you could just say 2048. First originated as a web game, this mathematical puzzle game basically involves sliding around number tiles until you get the number 2048 title. As a matter of fact, this has pretty much breached out from the web to, of course, various devices, like Android devices, Nintendo 3DS. Yes, that is right. But, however, making this the best version, the Nintendo 3DS version has music, difficulty settings, and of course some special 3D effects that make this version pretty much stand out compared to previous versions of 2048. However, if you do have a Nintendo 3DS, you might want to pick up 2048. It's a really cheap, and of course, there's no ads, you get to listen to music, and you get the 3D style board, and then you get the 2D style board in the bottom in case things go wrong, yada yada yada. But yes, don't get me wrong, 2048 is an addictive game overall, but I end up playing the Nintendo 3DS version more than the Android version now. Number 4, Senran Kagura Burst. Senran Kagura Burst is basically the first game and updated, and yes, it was localized and brought exclusively to the Nintendo eShop, courtesy of Xseed. And however, this whole franchise is about ninja girls doing their ninja stuff and learning new ninja things in their ninja academy, yada 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 yada. But yes, what we all know is, yes, this is a beat-em-up, a super flashy beat-em-up. It's a really addictive thing, and it has an intuitive learning curve. And also, as a matter of fact, it's frantic, and yes, there will be frame rate issues with Senran Kagura Burst. If you have a problem with that, you can just skip over to Senran Kagura 2 Full Burst. I've seen gameplay videos of it on YouTube, and I've never ran into some issues involving frame rate drops or nothing damaging about it. But hey, Senran Kagura Burst is a pretty forgiving title, despite having your frame rate drops. And yeah, yeah, the only problem with Senran Kagura Burst is its frame rate. Yeah, but however, with the frame rate issues aside, it's still a fun little beat-em-up, and it's a fantastic hack and slash, you know, you could say hack and slash beat-em-up, either way. I mean, it's still a beat-em-up. I mean, come on, we've played Turtles in Time to familiarize us, but whatever, you know, yes, these characters are really bright, you'll be getting the hang with the game's story, and of course, these characters are pretty awesome and pretty easy to get the hang of. Number 3, Code of Princess. Now, here's another beat-em-up on the 3DS library, or you could call it a hack and slash. The game is called Code of Princess, and yes, it is about you saving the world, as not only the main character, who is Solange, who is also the princess of a kingdom, and who is also wears bikini armor, of course, but however, she carries a gigantic sword that's capable of fucking surviving very long. And let's just say it's a really fucking super OP sword. And also, it looks pretty much heavy as hell, right? Well, guess what? Solange is able to pretty much handle the sword well, and basically is capable of fucking shit up. But however, like I said, she isn't alone in the journey. She has friends as well, and yes, and they're all playable characters. And yes, if you've already beaten the single-player campaign, damn it, I wish I had more. Well, guess what? You get bonus quests, you do have online co-op, you do have online versus, yada yada yada. And of course, yes, this shit's got a lot of fucking replayability. And of course, the art of the game is fantastic. Brilliant design, and of course, fantastic sound. And, yeah, charming characters, and pretty much interesting story. It's full of humor, and of course, you're gonna enjoy it. And, yeah, it's an underrated title. The gameplay may be slow, but, it still doesn't excuse not having chaos, so yeah, there's definitely going to be chaos in this game. And of course, if you're not really careful, you will end up dead in a lot of later missions. But, hey, Code of Princess, it's a really fun brawler. It's really fantastic. It's a must-try. Number 2, Kagura. Kagura is a fantastic arcade-style game that basically has you operating a tank and navigating through various areas. And of course, this is a really tough game, and however, you will end up dying a lot until you completely master all of the game's missions. But, however, it's fun. Yeah, it's still a fun game, and it has some fantastic arcade-style music. It's enjoyable. Oh, yes, and not only that, not only do you have single-player, you do have local co-op, and you do have, oh yes, that's right, download play co-op. Yes, that's right. Download play support. That means if your friend doesn't have the game and wants to try it out, well, activate the download play feature and co-op with your buddy. And alright. Yeah. It's download play is a feature on the 3DS. It carried over from the Nintendo 3DS. But anyway, enough dragging on. Let's keep going. Other than that, it has some co-op. It has some single player. It's a really challenging arcade-style game, and it's a fantastically designed, and of course, it has some fantastic catchy tunes. Anyway, so, what am I getting at here? Kagura, it's a fantastic Nintendo eShop title. Oh, right. No wonder why I seem to be getting sidetracked a lot. It has a history. Yes, that's right. It had a retail release only in Japan, but however, it was localized to North America only on the Nintendo eShop. So, yeah. This is a good download. Number 1, Shin Megami Tensei 4. Now, the Shin Megami Tensei series in general is basically Pokemon with darker elements. You can say that, and I will say, yeah. Because basically the premise behind the Shin Megami Tensei series is, of course, not only of its darker elements, it's the ideas of talking to demons and getting them on your side, and of course, having your demons fight for you as they're already on your side. So, yes, that's what's the selling point of the Shin Megami Tensei series. But Shin Megami Tensei 4, the latest entry in the series, buffs up the difficulty. You are very likely to die a lot. And of course, don't get me wrong, the soundtrack is of course badass. And yes, just like as the series is going strong, and yeah, the series is actually going strong still, Shin Megami Tensei 4 is one of the best RPGs to have on the Nintendo 3DS. And of course, everybody knows that the Shin Megami Tensei series has spawned numerous spin-off titles known as Devil Survivor, Persona, yada yada yada. But Shin Megami Tensei 4, yes, the 4th entry in the main series, as you can tell by the Roman numeral number 4. Unless I'm wrong, and there could be a story in between entries, but oh well. But anyway, Shin Megami Tensei 4 may be brutally hard and has some kick-ass music, but however, the game is very, very rewarding. And of course, it has a pretty good story. And yes, the story starts up short, but however, the story gets pretty much better, and and weird shit starts happening, and what the fuck? I'm not gonna spoil anything in the story, but all I know is that Shin Megami Tensei 4 is a marvelous 3DS RPG, and of course, this is one game you might want to pick up. Yes, that is right. I am so fucking addicted to this game right now. I mean, holy shit. It's a really fun game. Anyway, Shin Megami Tensei 4 is a marvelous must-buy if you own a Nintendo 3DS. Anyway, I guess that's all for my top 5 list. Alright, that's all. See you in the next vid.